Chapter 1. Broken Home. Lena sat with her mother in the small room. Her hands were cold, and her heart was beating fast. She asked softly, "Mom, what will happen now?" Iris looked down. She did not want to meet her daughter's eyes. After a moment, she said, "I made a mistake, Lena. They will send me away." Lena's face turned pale. She whispered, "Send you where?" Her mother took a deep breath and said, "To prison. I sold my painting under another name. They said it was fraud. I should not have done it, but I did. Now they will punish me." Lena could not believe what she heard. "But you are an artist. Your painting is yours. Why would you do that?" Iris touched her hand and said, "I was afraid. I thought no one would buy my work with my name. I wanted people to look at it. I wanted to be known. I told myself it was only once. But lies always return to us. Now they will take me away." Tears came into Lena's eyes. She held her mother's arm tightly. "No, you cannot go. You are my mom. I need you." Iris pulled her close and kissed her hair. "I am still your mom, even if I am locked far away. You must be strong. Promise me you will try." Lena cried and shook her head. "I cannot be strong. I am scared." Iris whispered, "You can. You will. Life will test you, but you will grow. Even when you feel alone, you will carry me in your heart." The door opened, and a guard stepped in. "It is time," the guard said. Lena panicked. She grabbed her mother's hand. "Don't leave me. Please stay." Iris's eyes were wet, but her voice was calm. "I love you. Remember that. No matter what they say about me, remember I am your mother." The guard touched Iris's shoulder. She stood up slowly, but she did not break eye contact with Lena. "I will write to you. You will read my words. We will not lose each other." Then she was gone. The door closed, and Lena felt her world close too. Hours later, Lena sat alone in a corner. She felt empty. A worker came to her and said, "Lena, you cannot live alone. We will send you to a foster home." Lena wiped her face and asked, "What is that?" The worker explained, "A family will take care of you. It will not be the same as your mother, but you will have food and a place to sleep." Lena looked away and said, "I do not want food. I do not want a bed. I only want my mom." The worker sighed. "I know, child, but the court has decided. You will go to Clara and Ray Holt. They will take you in." Lena asked, "Do they know me?" The worker shook her head. "Not yet, but they will meet you soon." Lena whispered, "Will they be kind?" The worker did not answer. That night, Lena lay awake. She thought of her mother's words. "Be strong. You can grow." She closed her eyes, but she felt only fear. She whispered to herself, "I will try, Mom. I will try." Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the hype button to support us. Chapter 2. First Foster House. The car stopped in front of a new house, but Lena kept her eyes down. She did not want to see. The worker touched her shoulder and said, "Lena, we are here. This is the Holt family." Lena's hands shook. She whispered, "I do not want a new family. I only want my mom." The worker gave a tired smile and said, "I know, but we must try. Life does not stop when we want it to. You will meet Clara and Ray Holt. They are your foster parents now." The door opened and a tall woman came out. Her face was strict. She looked at Lena and said, "So this is the girl." Her voice was sharp. The worker nodded. "Yes, this is Lena Morris. She needs a place for now." The woman crossed her arms. "I am Clara Holt. You will follow the rules in this house." Lena nodded slowly, but inside her chest there was fear. Ray Holt came next. He was quiet. He did not smile, but he did not look angry either. He only said, "Come in, child." His voice was flat. Lena walked inside, holding her small bag. Soon another girl appeared. She was about Lena's age. She looked at her and said with a smirk, "Great. Now I have to share space with you. My name is Tara. Don't think I will be your friend." Lena wanted to speak, but no words came out. She lowered her eyes. Tara rolled her eyes and walked away. Clara spoke quickly. "Do not mind her, but remember, in this house you must behave." At night, Lena sat on the bed in her new room. Her heart was heavy. She whispered to herself, "This is not my home. This is not my family." She thought of her mother's last words. She wanted to cry, but she held back the tears. She did not want Clara to hear her sobs. The next day, Clara gave her tasks. "You will wake early. You will help with the kitchen. You will not argue." Lena nodded, but she felt tired. Tara came near and laughed. "You look weak already. This is my place. You are only a guest here." Lena tried to stay silent, but Tara pushed again. "Don't act quiet. You will not last long." Lena whispered, "I am not here to fight." Tara laughed louder. "Good, because you cannot win." Ray stayed distant. He left for work early and came back late. He never spoke much. Once Lena tried to greet him, but he only nodded and walked away. She wondered if he even cared that she was there. Days passed, and the air in the house felt heavy. Clara's rules were strict. Tara's words were sharp. Lena kept quiet, but inside she was breaking. At night she prayed in silence. "Mom, I am trying, but it is hard. I feel lost." She held her pillow tight and imagined her mother's face. One evening, Clara called her. "Lena, sit here." Lena sat. Clara looked at her and said, "You must learn discipline. Your mother failed. Do not repeat her mistakes. Do not think lies and tricks will help you." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "My mother is not all bad. She loves me." Clara frowned. "Love is not enough. Rules keep life straight." Lena wanted to answer back, but she stayed quiet. Later, Tara whispered from the corner, "You will never belong here. This is not your place. Lena turned her head away. She thought, maybe she is right. But I must survive. I must hold on until I can find my way. That night, Lena lay awake again. The house was silent, but her mind was loud. She thought of her mother's letters that would come one day. She thought of freedom. She thought of the strength her mother wanted her to have. She whispered into the dark, I will try, Mom. Even here, I will try. Chapter 3. Hurt and Silence. The days in the Holt house felt endless. Lena tried to do everything right, but nothing seemed enough. Every morning, Clara woke her before the sun. Get up, Lena. Work must be done, she said. Lena washed her face quickly and went to the kitchen. Clara gave her tasks. Clean the table. Cut the bread. Do not waste time. Lena nodded and obeyed. She wanted to say she was tired, but her mother's words came back. Be strong. You can grow. So she stayed silent. Tara was sharper than ever. She watched Lena with cold eyes. One morning she dropped a spoon on purpose and said, Pick it up, new girl. That is all you are good for. Lena bent down and picked it up. Tara smirked. See? You are weak. You never fight. Lena whispered, I don't want to fight. Tara laughed loudly. Then you will never last here. Weak people disappear. Those words cut Lena like glass, but she hid her pain. At school, Lena sat alone. She opened her book and kept her head low. The children around her laughed and shared food, but no one asked her to join. Once a girl asked, Where do you live? Lena froze. She wanted to say, with my mom, but that was no longer true. She said softly, with the Holts. The girl blinked and walked away. Lena felt invisible. She whispered to herself, No one knows me. No one sees me. One evening, Clara gave her a pile of clothes. Wash these and do not complain. Lena carried the heavy bundle. Her small hands worked in the cold water until her skin hurt. Tara came near, leaned on the wall, and said, You look like a servant. Maybe that's all you are here. Lena's throat burned, but she stayed quiet. Tara added, If you keep being quiet, they will forget you exist. Then she left with a cruel laugh. Ray was always in the background. He never shouted, but he never smiled either. Once Lena tried to speak. She asked softly, Do you like music, Mr. Holt? He looked up from his newspaper and said, I do not have time for music. Then he walked away. Lena sat frozen. She thought, He does not want to know me. No one here does. That night she pulled out her old notebook. She wrote, Dear Mom. Tara laughed at me again. Clara said I am too slow. Ray does not hear me. I miss you. I feel like a shadow in this house. She closed the notebook and hid it under her pillow. She wished her mother's letter would arrive soon. At dinner, Clara looked straight at her. Lena, remember, discipline keeps a person safe. Your mother cheated and lied. Do not follow her. Lena's eyes filled with tears. She whispered, My mom made mistakes, but she loves me. Clara frowned. Love is not enough. Rules are stronger than love. Tara laughed and clapped her hands. Yes, listen to her. Cry for your mom again. Lena dropped her spoon. Her hands shook, but she said nothing. She stared at her plate until the meal ended. Later that night, Lena lay awake. The house was quiet, but her heart was loud. She hugged her pillow and whispered, Mom, I am trying, but it hurts so much. I am alone. Tears rolled down her face, but she pressed them into the pillow so no one could hear. She thought of Iris's last words. Even when you feel alone, you carry me in your heart. She whispered again, I will survive. I will not give up. The silence stayed heavy, but inside her chest a small voice spoke back. It said, Hold on, Lena. Hold on. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the hype button to support us. Read this full story and many more emotional English stories on our website, www.bookishenglish.com. Chapter 4. Cold, Rich House. The day came when Lena was told she would not stay with the Holts any longer. A worker came to the house and said, Lena, pack your things. You will go to another family. Clara did not look sad. She only said, Remember what I told you. Rules matter more than feelings. Tara smirked and whispered, Good. Now I get this place back. Lena looked at her with tired eyes. She did not reply. She only held her small bag and followed the worker outside. The car moved slowly, and Lena felt heavy inside. She asked the worker, Who are they? Where am I going now? The worker answered, The Ward family. They live well. You will have comfort there. Lena pressed her lips together. I do not want comfort. I want my mom. The worker shook her head. Life does not give what we want. It gives what it gives. When they reached, a tall woman opened the door. Her dress was neat, her face cold. She looked at Lena from head to toe and said, So this is the girl. My name is Elaine Ward. You must behave. Lena nodded quietly. Behind her, a boy stepped forward. He was older than Lena. His eyes were sharp, and his smile felt strange. I am Mark Ward, he said. Do not get in my way. Lena lowered her eyes and said nothing. Inside, Elaine spoke again. We expect order here. No noise, no foolishness. You will follow what I say. Lena whispered, Yes, ma'am. Elaine turned to her son. Mark, show her where she will stay. Mark walked ahead and said in a dry voice, Follow me, if you can. Lena placed her bag on the small bed. Mark leaned on the door and said, Do not think you are part of this family. You are only here because my mother likes to play kind. Lena looked at him with wide eyes. I did not ask to be here. Mark smirked. Good, then we agree. Stay out of my way. He left, and the door closed behind him. Days passed slowly. Elaine spoke little, but when she did, her words felt like ice. Once at breakfast, she looked at Lena and said, Sit straight. Do not apologize. Kapoor, Lena whispered. I am trying. Elaine replied. Trying is not enough. You must look proper in this house. Lena felt small but said nothing more. Mark enjoyed teasing her. He pulled her books once and said, These are useless. You will never be anything. Lena tried to take them back, whispering, They are mine. Mark laughed. Mine now. He threw one across the room. Lena picked it up silently. He looked at her and asked, Why do you never fight? Too weak? Lena said softly, I do not want fights. Mark leaned closer. Then you will always lose. He walked away, laughing. At night, Lena lay in bed and whispered, Mom, this place looks fine, but it is not warm. They do not love me. They only keep me. She held her pillow and tried not to cry. She remembered her mother's words. Be strong. Promise me you will try. She whispered, I am trying, but it feels so cold here. One evening, Elaine came to her. Lena, listen to me. Do not repeat your mother's mistakes. She lied, and now she pays. You must learn to be different. Lena looked at her with teary eyes. My mother is not only her mistake. She is still my mother. Elaine frowned. Do not speak back. Respect rules, not feelings. Lena swallowed her words and nodded. Inside, she thought, why do they all speak against her? Why can no one see her love? Later, Mark cornered her in the hallway. He whispered, You will not last here. One day you will run away. Lena looked straight at him and said, Maybe, but I will not break. Mark laughed. We will see. That night, Lena opened her notebook again. She wrote, Dear Mom, I am in another house now. They are rich, but I feel more alone. Elaine is cold. Mark is cruel. I miss you. I miss your voice. I promise I will hold on. She closed the notebook and pressed it under her pillow. The silence of the house was heavy, but Lena's small voice inside told her, Hold on. Do not give up. She closed her eyes and whispered again, I will not give up, Mom. I will not. Chapter 5. A Friend Appears. School was still a lonely place for Lena. She walked through the halls with her books pressed close to her chest. She sat alone in class, spoke little, and kept her eyes down. The other children laughed in groups, traded stories, and shared food. But she felt like she was living behind glass. She could see them, but she was not part of them. Every day she wondered if anyone would notice her, if anyone would even care if she was gone. One afternoon, as she sat on the bench with her small notebook, a voice broke the silence. Are you always this quiet? Lena looked up and saw a girl standing there with a bright smile and curious eyes. My name is Nina Brooks. And you? Lena hesitated, then whispered, I am Lena. Nina sat down next to her without waiting. You do not talk much, do you? Lena looked at the ground. I do not have much to say. Nina shook her head. That is not true. Everyone has something to say. You just need someone to listen. Lena felt something new in that moment. It was small, but warm. She whispered, No one wants to hear me. Nina replied, I do. Tell me something. Anything. Lena thought for a while and said softly, I miss my mom. Nina's smile softened. Then tell me about her. Lena's voice trembled. She made mistakes. People judge her. But she loves me. She told me to be strong. Nina touched her arm lightly. She is right. You are stronger than you think. The next day, Nina waved to her in class. Sit with me, she said. Lena felt shy, but she walked over and sat beside her. When some students looked at them, Nina said boldly, She is my friend. No one laughed after that. Lena's chest felt lighter. At lunch, Nina opened her lunchbox and pushed an apple toward her. Take half, she said. Lena shook her head. No, it is yours. Nina put it in her hand. Friends share. Lena looked at the apple, and for the first time in many weeks, a small smile appeared on her face. As days passed, Nina stayed close. She walked with Lena after school, asked about her day, and listened with patience. They talked about books, music, and little dreams. Once Nina said, You are quiet, but your words are soft. They mean something. Lena whispered, I thought people only liked loud voices. Nina laughed. Not me. Loud voices fade. Soft voices stay. One afternoon, Nina introduced her to a boy. This is Evan Cole, she said. He is in the music club. Evan smiled kindly. Nice to meet you, Lena. She looked away, shy and unsure. Evan said gently, Nina told me you like to write. That is great. Writing is powerful. Lena whispered, I only write small things. Evan smiled. Small things can carry big truth. His words touched her heart in a way she could not explain. Later that week, Lena and Nina sat under the shade after class. Nina asked, Do you ever feel angry? Lena shook her head. I feel empty more than angry. Nina said, Then fill the empty place with hope. You found me, and now you found Evan too. That is not small. Lena's eyes grew wet, but she smiled a little. You make it sound easy. Nina said, It is not easy, but it is possible. At night, Lena wrote in her notebook, Dear Mom, today I sat with Nina again. She called me friend. I almost laughed like I used to. She believes I am strong. I do not see it, but she does. And there is Evan. He says small words can carry truth. Maybe one day I will believe that too. She pressed the notebook to her chest and whispered, I am not fully alone anymore. At home, Elaine noticed the change. One evening, she asked, You look different. Why? Lena answered softly, I have a friend now. Elaine frowned. Do not waste time on silly bonds. People leave. Lena looked down but said calmly, Not all people leave. Elaine's eyes narrowed, but she said no more. Mark, however, noticed too. One night he blocked her path in the hall. Why do you look happier these days? Lena whispered. Because I have friends. Mark smirked. They will get bored of you. You will be alone again. Lena looked straight into his eyes. Maybe, but while they are here, I will not let them go." Mark stared for a moment, then walked away without a word. At school the next day, a boy teased her. "Why is she always sad?" Before Lena could answer, Nina stood up. "Because she is stronger than you. That is why." The boy grew silent. Lena looked at her friend with surprise and whispered, "Why did you do that?" Nina smiled. "Because friends stand together." That night, Lena smiled as she wrote, "Dear Mom, Nina stood up for me today. She said I am strong. I do not know if it is true, but I believe her a little now." Evan also smiled at me. "I think he sees me. I am trying, Mom, just like you told me." She lay down and held her pillow close. For the first time since her mother left, she closed her eyes with hope. Chapter 6. The Hidden Truth. Weeks turned into months, and Lena held on to Nina and Evan. Their words gave her hope, but the hole in her heart stayed. Every night she thought of her mother, waiting for letters. One evening a worker visited the ward house. He carried a file and looked serious. "Lena, we need to talk," he said. Elaine frowned but left the room. Lena sat nervously. "Is it about my mom?" she asked. The worker shook his head. "It is about your father." Lena froze. She whispered, "My father? I do not have one. He left before I was born." The worker opened the file. "His name is Adam Morris. He was never part of your life, but he is alive. He asked to know about you." Lena's eyes widened. "Why now? Why after all these years?" The worker said, "He said he made mistakes. He could not face your mother. But he wants to see you once." That night Lena could not sleep. Her mind spun. She whispered to herself, "Why did Mom never tell me? Did she hide him from me? Or did he hide from us?" She hugged her pillow and thought of Iris's face in the last meeting. She remembered her mother saying, "Even when I am far, I am still your mom." But why had she never spoken of Adam? The next day she told Nina, "They say I have a father. His name is Adam. He wants to see me." Nina looked at her with calm eyes. "How do you feel?" Lena whispered, "Angry, confused, afraid. What if he does not love me?" Nina held her hand. "You will not know until you see him. But remember, his choice does not change your worth." Later, Evan found her sitting alone. "Nina told me," he said softly. "You do not have to meet him if you do not want to." Lena shook her head. "I want answers. I want to know why he left." Evan nodded. "Then ask him. Do not carry silence forever." Finally, the day came. Lena met Adam in a small office. He was older, with tired eyes. He looked at her as if he had missed years he could never get back. "Lena," he said, his voice trembling, "I am your father." Lena stared at him. "What? Did you leave? Why were you never there?" Adam lowered his head. "I was weak. I thought I was not ready to be a father. I ran away. It was my greatest mistake." Tears filled Lena's eyes. "Do you love me now? Or do you just feel guilty?" Adam looked at her, his eyes wet. I loved you always, but fear kept me away. I do not ask you to forgive me today. I only ask you to know the truth. Lena stood silent. Her heart was torn. She whispered, "You cannot erase the years, but I will remember your words." That night, Lena wrote in her notebook, "Dear Mom, today I met him, Adam Morris, my father. He said he was weak. He said he loved me but could not stay. I do not know if I can forgive him. But now I know the truth. I will not let his weakness define me. I will be stronger." She closed the notebook and whispered to herself, "I am my mother's child. I will survive." Chapter 7. Mother's Letters. The first letter came on a quiet morning. Lena found an envelope with her name on it. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside was her mother's handwriting. The words were uneven, but the voice was strong. "My dear Lena, I know I failed you. I am behind walls, but I think of you every hour. You are my light. You must not fall because of me. Be strong, child. Promise me you will not break." Lena pressed the paper to her face and whispered, "Mom, I missed your voice." Tears ran down her cheeks. She read the letter again and again until she knew every line by heart. That night she told Nina, "She wrote to me. She told me to be strong." Nina smiled softly. "Then you must listen. She may be far, but her words can hold you." More letters came. Each one carried love, regret, and hope. One said, "Lena, the world will not always be kind, but do not let it change your heart. Do not let it turn you hard. Keep your kindness, even when others laugh. Kindness is strength." Lena folded the letter carefully and kept it under her pillow. She whispered, "I will try, Mom." In another letter, Iris wrote, "I see your face when I close my eyes. I remember your laugh when you were small. I fear you will forget me, but I pray you will not. Even if the world tells you I am bad, remember I loved you more than my own life." Lena told Evan about it. He listened with quiet eyes. Then he said, "Do not doubt her love. Mistakes do not erase love." Lena's chest felt warm. She whispered, "I want to believe that." One evening, Lena sat with Nina and read parts of a letter aloud. She said I should not hide from the world. She said silence is heavy, but truth sets us free. Nina held her hand and said, "Then speak, Lena. Speak when you are ready. You do not need to stay in shadows." For the first time, Lena felt her mother's words pushing her forward, not holding her back, but the letters also carried pain. One said, "Forgive me if you can. I wanted success, and I lied. I wanted fame, and I fell. I gave you shame instead of pride, but even in shame I loved you. I always will." Lena cried as she read it. She asked herself, "Can I forgive her? Can I carry her mistake and still love her?" She pressed the paper to her chest. "She is my mom. I cannot throw her away. Mark once saw her holding a letter." He sneered, Still reading lies from prison? Lena looked at him, her eyes steady. They are not lies. They are my mother's heart. Mark rolled his eyes and walked away, but for the first time Lena did not feel crushed. Her mother's words were stronger than his mockery. At night she spread the letters on her bed. She read them one by one, whispering the words as if her mother were speaking beside her. She wrote back, even if she could not send them. She wrote, "Dear Mom, I am trying. I am holding on. I have friends now. I am not lost. I will grow, like you said." She placed the paper under the pile of letters. The letters became her treasure. They were not only paper. They were proof that her mother's love had not died behind cold walls. Each word reminded her she was not alone. She whispered before sleep, "Your words are with me, Mom. I will not let go." Chapter 8. Finding Myself. The letters from her mother had given Lena strength. The friendship of Nina and Evan had given her comfort. But inside she knew the time had come to decide who she really was. She could not spend her whole life only as the girl whose mother was in prison, or the child who was moved from house to house. She had to discover her own voice. One afternoon she sat with Nina under the shade after school. Her voice was low but steady. "I feel like I am made of two halves," she said. "One half belongs to my mother, her love, her pain, her mistake. The other half is empty, waiting for me to fill it. I do not know how." Nina looked at her closely. "You do not need to be half of anything. You are whole already. You only need to believe it." Later, Evan joined them. He carried his guitar, but he did not play. He simply said, "Nina told me what you feel. Do not fear emptiness, Lena. Emptiness is only space for you to build something new. You write. That is your voice. Use it." Lena looked at him. "What if my truth is broken?" Evan shook his head. "Broken truth is still truth, and truth makes us free." That night Lena opened her notebook. She wrote slowly, "I am not only my mother's story. I am not only my father's weakness. I am me. I will choose who I become." She stopped and read the words again. For the first time, they did not feel small. They felt strong. She whispered, "This is me." Days later, another letter arrived. "My child, you are growing even from far away. I feel your strength in my heart. One day you will stand without me. When that day comes, remember I am proud of you. You are more than my mistake. You are my hope." Lena cried as she read it, but the tears were not only sadness. They were also freedom. "Mom, I love you," she whispered, "but I must walk my path now." At home, Elaine noticed the change. She asked coldly, "Why do you look so sure of yourself these days?" Lena answered calmly, "Because I know who I am." Elaine frowned. "You are still a child under my roof." Lena nodded. "Yes, but I am also Lena, and no one can take that away." Elaine turned her face, but she had no reply. Mark tried to hurt her one last time. He said, You think you are strong? Life will crush you. People will leave. You will fall again. Lena looked him in the eyes and said firmly, Maybe I will fall, but I will rise again. I am not weak anymore. Mark smirked but looked unsettled. This time his words did not break her. One evening she asked the worker about Adam again. Will I see my father anymore? The worker said, That depends on you. He wants to, but the choice is yours. Lena thought deeply. Then she shook her head. I met him once. I heard his truth. That is enough. I cannot carry his weight. I will not let his absence define me. Later, Sister Ruth spoke with her. Child, you carry many wounds, but wounds can heal into wisdom if you let them. Do not let your past decide your future. Lena asked, Do you think I can really be whole? Sister Ruth smiled. You already are. You only needed to see it yourself. That night Lena sat with Nina and Evan. Her voice trembled, but grew stronger as she spoke. I want to live my life now. I want to study. I want to write. I want to stand with my own feet. I do not want to hide in pain anymore. Nina smiled. Then do it. You will never walk alone. I will be with you. Evan added, and your words will carry you further than you can imagine. Trust them. For the first time, Lena felt peace inside her chest. She opened her notebook one last time and wrote, I am Lena Morris. I am my mother's daughter. I am my father's truth. I am also myself. I will not break. I will grow. I will forgive. I will live. She closed the notebook and pressed it to her heart. The silence around her no longer felt heavy. It felt open, wide, and full of promise. She whispered into the night, Mom, I forgive you. I love you. But now I walk my own path. As she lay down, her tears were soft, not sharp. She breathed deeply and felt the weight lift. For the first time since her mother was taken away, Lena did not feel broken. She felt ready. She whispered again with calm strength, I have found myself.